Generally speaking, is the seat. Like you have a chair or a couch and you sit in it, it's a seat. Okay? It's the seat of the reflections of knowledge or understanding, perception, and you name it. Now, in that seat, is thoughts and counsels. So when the Bible talks about the mind of the Lord, it's talking about the thoughts of God. It's talking about the counsels of God. Now, counsel is advices. And God gives us advices, or God advises us based upon his thoughts. Now, the thoughts of God are the doctrines of God. You have to stay with me. The thoughts of God are formed in doctrines, in teachings. Everything around us was once a thought of God, the mind of God. And when God created our world, the thoughts of God concerning everything became teaching. So you have teaching about everything. You have teaching about creation, the fish, animals, mankind, you name it. The sea, the ocean, the stars, the earth, everything became doctrines, teaching. Now, of course, you have water teaching to these things, and you have biblical or godly teaching to these things. So, Jesus Christ, he was instructed by God, his Father. And whatsoever he was instructed to do, the very thoughts of God that became doctrines. Jesus Christ received the doctrines of God, the thoughts of God, the mind of God. When you're talking about the thoughts of God, you are talking about the mind of God. So by receiving the thoughts of God, you have what? You have the mind of God. Because what? You do things based upon his thoughts, his teachings, which are his mind, which compose of his mind, and you have received. So Jesus Christ did that. Turn one chapter over to chapter 7, St. John 7:17. If in verse 16, read verse 16, Jesus, he was teaching, and these Jews, they were confused. They said, but how can this boy that we know from Nazareth, the son of Mary, the stepson of Joseph, how can this boy know so much like this? He was just born. By age, the boy is naive. He should be he should be ignorant. But by age, this boy, what he knows exceeds his age. So let me tell some of you out there, knowledge or wisdom does not come with age. That's the first lesson many of us should know. Because many aged people in churches today, because their pastors are young, they are older than their pastors, they respect them. What do you know? How long have you lived? No. Wisdom, godly knowledge does not come with age or gray hairs. Does not necessarily, let me put it that way, does not necessarily come with age or gray hair, and it does not come with that either. So Jesus is teaching, and the people, they are amazed. And this is why he said in verse 16, St. John chapter 7, 16, Jesus answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. So Jesus began to give them his secret. He said, I am operating in the mind of God. The thoughts of God that became teaching, that's what I'm operating. This is why he told these same Jews in 8, he said, I was instructed by my Father. And as my Father has instructed me what to teach, I teach. That is why he has the mind of the Lord. He continued, he said, if any man will to do his will. So before the thoughts of God, before the counsel of God that make up the mind of God, before it can be revealed to someone or before someone can operate in it, that person first and foremost should want to do God's will. Because God is not going to reveal his thoughts to you, his counsels to you, if you in the first place, you do not want to do what he is about to tell you. You are not going to be able to operate in the mind of God if you first and foremost do not want to do what he's about to instruct you. That is the prerequisite for operating in the mind of God. The prerequisite is you should first want to, out of love, out of reverence, do what God is about to instruct you. Then he will reveal his thoughts, his counsels, which make up his mind to you. So Jesus said, if any man will to do his will, he shall know. He shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of God or I speak of myself. So Jesus Christ is impressing upon these people's heart that look, what I'm saying, I'm not saying it of myself. I am operating in the mind of my Father. My Father has instructed me. He has given me instructions. He has revealed his mind to me through thoughts and counsels. And these very thoughts and counsels, they come in the form of teaching about life and godliness. And that is what I am teaching you. That is what I am teaching you. Continues in verse 28 of John chapter 8. And he that sent me is with me. The Father has not left me alone, for I do always those things that please him. He just takes us deeper. He says, because I have willingly, my Father did not force me. I willingly, out of love, out of respect, wanted to do what my Father wanted me to do. Therefore, he disclosed his mind to me through thoughts and counsels. And these very thoughts and counsels that come in teaching, I am presenting them to you. And he said that my Father has never left me alone. Again, this is very important. The satisfied mind of the saint. And we read that we are complete in Christ. So if we are complete in Christ in spirit, soul, and body, we want to look at Jesus' soul. And today is the mind we are looking at, which is part of the soul. So he said, my Father has not left me alone. I have been lonely. That is, I have no physical companion. But I have always been with my Father, or my Father has always been with me in spirit. I have always received comfort. I have always been encouraged by my Father. Though I have no physical companion, yet my Father is always with me. And he gives us a reason. He said, for I do always those things that please him. There. So the satisfied mind is the mind that does always the things that please the Father. Is the mind that adopts the thoughts and the counsels of God as its own. Is the satisfied mind. And Jesus Christ, he has the mind of God. If I were taking one step further, before creation, Jesus Christ